And transitioning from soldier to civilian, what spouses can do to help soldiers adjust to life outside a war zone. It is Wednesday, September 19th, and GMT starts right now.
From WFAA TV, you're watching Good Morning Texas in high definition.
All right, now over to Paige McCoy-Smith, who's looking at ways to ease that transition from soldier to civilian.
This is Good Morning Texas. The not-so-perfect parent.
The return of a soldier is a long-awaited gift, and here are a few precious moments captured when a soldier comes home.
You still, but I'm feeling like I'm starved for something real. Oh yeah, I'm starved for something real. How does it feel to make me feel? You ruined my already impaired ability to prepare. Please don't consider this a flaw, 'cause baby I'm the star. Don't believe them, don't believe it.
Well, these are very special homecomings. However, for many military families, the celebration can sometimes be interrupted by unexpected challenges adjusting to life outside a war zone. Lee Escobar is the author, speaker, and founder of richsoldier.com, and he is here with tips for transitioning from soldier to civilian. How are you, Lee?
Good morning.
You're a little misty-eyed, aren't
Yes,
you?
I am.
This hits close to home for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and seeing those images and seeing these beautiful homecomings, it is easy for people to get lost in that emotion. But the reality is that transition can be difficult for families.
Absolutely. Once the happiness wears off, or the joy of meeting the person or seeing them again wears off, real life kicks in. And that's where the transition has to take place, where we have to realize that, okay, now we're back home. What are we going to do as a family to build up our family and keep it strong so that now we can survive this next benchmark or this new door that's being opened in our life?
A little before the show, we were talking about even just taking off the uniform and being in civilian clothes, the reception, the interaction that you have with other people, that changes dramatically as well. And there is loss associated with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Whenever we're in uniform, there's this sense of hero-ness that we have and that we're given by our peers around us. But once we take off the uniform, we're just a civilian again. And people don't know what we've done or what we've accomplished. And it also brings down our self-esteem, self-worth, and self-confidence. Because here we are, we've manned millions of dollars worth of equipment. We've been in control of people's lives just to come back home, and what's next?
And what's next? And I imagine it's difficult when you're looking at the world through a different lens, and everything seems probably, in some ways, kind of a less significant, or at least so very different than the difficulty of war. You put some things together when it comes to kind of specific tips, specifically for what a spouse can do initially to help with the transition. The first thing you talk about is sharing goals. What does that mean?
Well, in the military, we're taught about teamwork. And a lot of times we forget that we can translate what we do in uniform into our family life, and we need to share those goals with each other. Sit down 6 months to a year before the transition takes place. What are we going to do? How are we going to get there? What's next? So that way there's a clear defined goal, and then after that, how can we accomplish the goal?
And
how
that
can
goes
we work
into the
together as a team?
plan.
Correct.
Developing the plan would be the next step for that.
That's correct. So then we'll sit down and put a plan together, right? How much money do we need? What's going to be next? What's going to be the pitfalls and the hurdles that we're going to go through? And then let's write down how we're going to actually overcome those as a family, as a team.
You saw, as we saw in the video, the celebration of the homecoming. You also say it's important to continue the celebration by celebrating various milestones. What do you mean by that?
Every time we accomplish something, we should give each other praise. There's nothing like the word I love you. There's nothing like we did it together. There's nothing like the hurrah. If we could keep the emotion of the celebration that we had when we come home and just remember it, and then every time we hit a milestone or achievement, say, you know what, let's celebrate this again. Whether it's going out to eat, spending a special night together, you know, let's just remember that oneness that we felt and that love.
And you serve currently as a military chaplain for the military reserves. We have a picture of you, I think, somewhere with your fatigues, you in action. And so you have a very personal passion for this. What is it that you hope to achieve and when assisting soldiers from becoming a soldier to a civilian?
Well, my actual goal is to, once the military member goes into the civilian world, they're only left with, here's a job, what to do next. And I really believe a lot of times they struggle to find a job that will actually build their self-esteem and put them at the same hero level. So what I'm proposing in my book, Rich Soldier, is let's give them another option. And that option is the ability to become entrepreneurs, business owners, and investors, and build our self-esteem and self-worth from that. A lot of people really don't know, or military individuals, that our core values in the military actually translate better into the business world and owning our own businesses than they do translating into a job.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. So giving them options as far as from an entrepreneurial perspective is a great road to go. Quickly, because we don't have a lot of time, you gave me this little coin here. I'm curious about the significance of the coin and what it represents.
Well, in the military, we give challenge coins, and a challenge coin basically is given for to build self-esteem. It's also on top of that to build morale, and then for the recognition of special achievements. We call those the undocumented medals, and that is to help our military members remember that the mission is financial freedom, financial independence, and the 4 things they need to achieve it, which is they have to evaluate where they want to go, which is making a plan. Then after that, evolve, change. Then after that, execute.
Yeah.
Educate.
Education, execute, and all of these words are listed here on this coin too. It was a great gift.
And they're also all the colors of the actual military services.
Fantastic. All right, this is great information. I really do appreciate you being here today. Thank you. Thank you so much. And for more information on resources on transitioning from soldier to civilian, you can go to richsoldier.com. Carrie?
All right, Paige, thanks. Well, in case you didn't know, today